Yep. Well, good.
Nice to see you here.
It's nice to be here.
So you
Nice to be anywhere.
You, you grew up in England, and you started playing guitar when you were a
About
teenager?
15.
15?
Yep.
Acoustic guitar first? Or?
No, electric.
Electric.
Cheap old electric guitar.
Wow. And so how did the traffic thing happen with Stevie Winwood?
Because Jim and I were in local bands, and we just all met with up in Birmingham. We used to go up there to play, and we just sort of ran into each other and just kind of kept running into each other and just sort of hung out for about a year, all four of us, and then slowly evolved into Traffic. Really, it was just started out just four guys hanging out, pretty much liking the same kind of music.
You started writing some great tunes.
That's really how it started. And then when Traffic started, I figured it was time to start writing. And then I wrote a song called "Hole in My Shoe," which was their first big hit in England. And then we kind of split up, and I went off and started working on writing a little more. And then came back to the second album wrote half the second album, and I had Feeling All Right on it. So
yeah, how did Feeling All Right come about? Was that
it's like any song, it just comes.
a two-chord wonder song, though? It's still a big hit.
Well, the two-chord thing came out of the fact that I was playing sitar a lot for about 2 years. So I figured just droning away on one thing kind of made me think about writing something that had the least amount of chords possible, which was two. To get any change in it, any kind of movement in the song. So that was basically the idea behind trying to do that. And that's what came out.
And it's still played by many people.
It gets played all over the place, movies and commercials.
So then you did some studio stuff. You played with Hendrix on Electric Ladyland.
I produced an album called Music in a Doll's House for a group called Family. And finished up, I get to know some of the McCartney and Harrison and not so much Lennon. And used to go down to the Sgt. Pepper sessions. Sang on a little version of one of the versions of Across the Universe. And then that went into doing stuff with George and recording with Hendrix and Electric Ladyland, and a lot of that stuff came out of the fact we were all of us were pretty much using the same studio, Olympic.
Right.
So, and sort of after the second Traffic album, and that fell apart with the band, I just up and decided to leave and come to America.
And then Alone Together happened with Johnny Barbada and Michael DeTemple.
Pretty much everybody: Jim Gordon, Jim Keltner, Carl Radle, Chris Etheridge, Rita Coolidge, Bonnie. I mean, everybody was. They were all the session people. Leon Russell,
right.
Larry Neto. They were all the session guys here. They were all the Tulsa boys.
Right.
We're doing a lot of sessions here then.
But your songs just shine through, and the beautiful album coloration on vinyl.
Oh yeah,
gorgeous.
Well, that was just a miss. There was no controlling that. It was just,
But it looked beautiful.
but it came out and it was interesting.
So then we were all in Marin County, and you met Lonnie Turner and Rick, and you put together the band.
Mm-hmm.
And we used to jam in Mill Valley. And then you started rehearsals.
Well, that kind of all went through a lot of incarnations. The one with the great band was Rick and actually the really great band was Rick and Joel Johnson.
A little bit later.
And Joe and Jim Krieger and Mike Finnegan. I mean, that was the really.
Eventually, you moved to Malibu and did an album themed on your residence.
Well, I was living there for a while, so I did one of my albums at the house there. Yeah, Mariposa.
Yeah, that's memorable. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Nice
you're welcome.
to see you
You're
again,
welcome.
David.
Thank you.